You can use Sendspark and Warmly together to automatically send these AI personalized videos to people right when they visit your website. And each video is going to be personalized with AI. So you're actually saying your viewer's name. It'll look something like this. And you can either have the video be like just you or more of a product demo like this one.
Hey, Maximus. So basically the goal of Sendspark is to help you.
And of course, you can customize these landing pages, make them match your branding and all of that. What I'm going to show you in this video is how to set this up at a high level. So if you're familiar with Warmly and Sendspark, you'll be able to get this going on your own. And then I'll actually walk through the setup like literally step by step. So if you are totally new to creating automations, you should just be able to follow along and get this going by the end of the video. How this works at a high level is in Sendspark in our agentic workflow builder, we're going to create an automation that looks like this. So the trigger is going to be an incoming webhook from Warmly. The webhook that we're going to use is this one from the Warmly Orchestrator. So whenever a contact has visited the website, then you send this webhook. You can do this. So Warmly has a few different orchestrations. You can use this same workflow for any of the contact ones. If you're doing the company, like obviously you need an email to be able to send an email. But if you have the company and then you had an email, you could also do that. But I'd recommend just sticking to the contact ones for now. So this one's a great one to start with. Identified contact on website. And then the next step is going to be to create a dynamic video in Sendspark. And so what we're doing here is we have our video template in Sendspark where we've created one video and we left a placeholder for the viewer's first name. We've customized the landing page, and then these contacts are going to be added in automatically with the automation. So we have this, and then just for like super simplicity, I just have this sending out in Gmail. So we're going to send a video in Gmail, which we'd send to the real contact and have the text written out here. And then we're just using the Sendspark video in this email. Sendspark also integrates with a bunch of different email platforms. So if you wanted this to be sent in, SmartLead or Apollo or some other platform, you could, of course, connect the platform that you're using here. But okay, so this is how it works at a high level. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and let this run. And then I'll walk through how to create this beginning to end. So the very first thing we're going to do if we start over is create this automation in Sendspark. So we'll call this Warmly for demo video. And then for the trigger, then we'll have it be just a custom webhook, and then incoming webhook. The first time you do this, it'll have you add the connection. So we'll call this one Warmly demo video. You can leave all this blank. But what you want to do is take this, got it. What you want to do is take that webhook URL here and copy it to your clipboard, and we're going to put it in Warmly. You can also just click wait for webhook to be ready for when we test it. So you have that ready, and then in Warmly, what you're going to do, I guess I'll just discard those changes because we're going to reset it up. So in Warmly, what we'll do is, actually we're right here. So we'll create a new orchestration where the trigger is that someone's visited the website. And then just make sure you're editing this and then click send contact to webhook and then paste your webhook URL in here. Click test and you should see this confirming that the test went through. And then back in Sendspark, you're going to see all this data, which I know is a lot, but it's great. We're happy to have it there. So we'll move forward. So now what happens is whenever someone is entering this orchestration in Warmly, just make sure to publish it, then this webhook's going to fire and that's going to import them into Sendspark. So awesome, we have that step. Now the next step is going to be to create a dynamic video. So we can do this here. Just select your Sendspark account and hit continue. And then for the dynamic campaign, choose the one that you want to use here. So I have one called like Warmly 2-minute demo. And then with this, I'm kind of assuming that you know how to create a dynamic video campaign in Sendspark, but you can do that here. You're just creating a new video. And in the campaign, the way I have this one set up, it's using the placeholder word watermelon. So it says, hey, watermelon. And then that watermelon word gets replaced with the viewer's first name. Cool. So we have this set up and then the landing page, and then that's all you need to do from here. So just back in the agentic workflow, What we now want to do is map the field into Sendspark. So we're basically saying like, okay, Warmly is giving us a first name. Now I want to use that in my video, and same with email. So you're just basically mapping any of the fields that you want to use in your video. So we'll send them all. In this video, I'm not using a dynamic background, but if you wanted to make it look like you're recording over your prospect's website, you can send that in as well. So cool, you have all of your fields coming in. And then so now what we're saying is, okay, someone's added to the Warmly Orchestrator, generate a personalized video. The next step is going to be to send an email. Again, we have a lot of different platform integrations here, so use the email platform that you like. For simplicity, I'm just going to use Gmail and then have this action send an email, connect my Gmail account. And then what you would do in setting this, so for real, make sure that the to is going to be the email of the person that you're sending this to. But I'd say when you set this up and you're testing, just like literally write in your own email. And that way all the emails are going to go to you, so you can make sure it all looks right. And then just make sure to update that with a real email. We'll select my email too. Email format, if you're using Gmail, just do HTML so you can embed the video. And then, for your email, you can write this out. First name, you write this out the way you want. And then the snippet you're going to use is this one from Sendspark, email, embed HTML, and that's going to embed the video in your email. So you can set this all up the way you actually want it to look. And then just hit save. And then what I'd recommend doing is starting this automation in Sendspark so you can see all of this go and check results. And then go back to Warmly real quick, open this up again, and then test your webhook again. And so this is sending that new trigger from Sendspark, or from Warmly into Sendspark. And so what we can see when we update the data is that we've received the webhook and we've started to generate the video. And then you'll also see that that video is starting to generate here. So we see this is like starting to load again. And then once the video has been created, that's going to trigger the next step in the workflow, which is going to be to send that email that you see here. So this is how it all works. Takes a few minutes to set up, but like once you have it going, it's totally automated and just a really good way to take advantage of inbound interest you're already seeing. I mean, these are going to be your warmest, fastest to close leads, so you may as well make the most of them. But cool. Let us know if you have any questions or there's anything we can help with. All right.